And we're streaming. Let's clap it in. Yes. Yes.
Boop, 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 boop.
Ooh.
Ow!
Oh, damn it. Every time I forget. Yeah.
Wait, what happened? What's wrong?
Nothing. Every single time I forget to mute YouTube. So then I get feedback and it's weird.
Oh, well, sorry. Hope you're okay. Hope you didn't get trapped into a vortex, Jacob's ladder, the
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
abyss, a hole.
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Tressa,
Hi. Yeah.
hi.
Hi.
Guess what?
What?
We're here to do On Fire Tonight with Josh and Tressa.
Well, that's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah. I'm so into it that people started calling me Josh, like from the show.
No way. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's so weird. It's nice to know that you've got fans.
I mean, they're not fans. They're not fans. And when I say people, I just mean like in my head, there are people that call me that name.
You have people in your head hate watching this show.
I would say no. Okay, so people love the show. Are they fans of me? Is the question.
Good point. That's a good distinction. They like me.
They must like something, because here they are.
So fun.
So I sometimes listen to other podcasts that's not
How
us.
dare you?
I know.
How very dare you?
It's interesting. Like sometimes I'll like check out a podcast I've never heard before because they're talking about a thing I'm interested in knowing more about. And often what happens is the hosts just talk about some other bullshit a lot of the time.
Who would do that? That's obnoxious.
And I'm like, that's not what I clicked on this thing for.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder.
You've lost so many phones that way, just throwing them across the room.
Yeah, I'm always on a cruise ship and it goes straight out the porthole.
Yes, you're always in your cabin on a cruise ship with the porthole open. I forgot to mention those key elements.
It's a tiny circular window, but it's open.
Obviously.
So here we are to talk about Our Flag Means Death, season 1, episode 2. Anyone who hasn't watched the episode yet, we're going to spoil it by talking about it and whatever other nonsense we talk about. So if you don't like things spoiled, we warned you. We said so.
If you know Josh and you don't want to have his story spoiled before you see him next, do not watch.
Yeah, most of my stories revolve around like half remembered things from decades ago that I don't verify.
No.
And then I sort of peter out and it's like, anyway, was that a story?
Yeah. That was a good one too.
My favorite. Okay, so this is so stupid. So I used to go to this gym in my old neighborhood, and I was like friendly with some of the people that were like regulars there or like did martial arts with me in this class. And I ran into a friend and I was like, hey, have you checked out, it was a new show at the time, Mad Men? He's like, oh my God, hold on a second, I got a story about that. So he like lifts his weights first and then he stands up. He's like, so I thought that show would be interesting, but it's just about some guy that smokes all the time.
That was his story.
That's what I said. I was like, that was the story.
That's what I had to wait for.
And now you had to wait for me to tell it secondhand.
Thanks,
I was
Josh.
dumbstruck. It's like that caused such a shift in my thinking about everything that like, do people think that that's a story? That no, like that one guy has to be kind of dumb, right?
I mean,
I mean, to be fair, he was
eh,
actually kind of young, and like I bet he's like actually like way smarter and more sophisticated now, but whatever.
now he knows what a good story entails now.
Maybe.
I'm gonna scoot you over a little bit and then
Oh. Let's dance. Let's dance. This is fun. Anybody that's watching the live stream
having the most fun is what they're
gets to see
doing.
the party happening. Both of us dancing.
Okay, that's better.
Do you like to dance?
I love to dance. I never dance though.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me as well. And I love to dance.
I
I'm
mean,
not like a well-trained dancer.
oh, I am.
No, but I like to dance.
Hmm. You're more of a free form, artistic, the thing. I can't think of words ever.
Yeah, like what comes out of me is sincere in the moment.
Interpretation.
Yeah, sometimes I get very interpretive and
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, I just like to jump around and have a good time. Although, as you said, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I Have you ever taken dance classes?
I mean, yeah, I grew up taking dance classes
Oh,
and I was great at it.
were you like a ballerina, a square dancer? What did you
Mhm,
do?
mhm,
All
mhm,
that?
mhm. I didn't take square dancing, but we did it in gym class. Um, Jazz, ballet. I think that's it.
Okay.
All of them. It covered everything.
I never did that as a kid, and they didn't offer square dancing in gym like when I was like where I was when I was growing up.
Oh, you didn't grow
Um,
up in the Midwest?
no, but I think that that was like more than just the Midwest. I think that that was like a almost completely national thing. And
What? Wait, did you do any dancing in gym?
no, we did like dodgeball where like you'd get nailed and
Hmm.
cry. Like
Hmm.
we'd do the thing where instead of counting off 1 2 1 2, someone would get like two kids would be captains and I'd be picked last every single time. And it's like,
I
okay,
don't know how that is.
please let me just be second to last instead of dead last.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. That does not apply to me at all.
But well, so like square dancing as a thing in schools, if I
Mhm.
understand correctly, was like a racist reaction against jazz, which they thought was like gonna super sexualize kids.
That
And
sounds right.
so, yeah, so they pushed square dancing as this, which is like, which kind of sucks because like square dancing
Kind
is
of.
fun. Well, okay, I'm saying like apart from the racism, like square dancing doesn't have to be racist. It
Right.
could just be a fun thing to do.
Of course.
Um,
But they just wanted to turn us into squares.
Super squares.
Gross. L7.
Um, but okay, so but here's the thing.
Mhm.
Uh, I bring all of this up because on a previous episode of a different on a previous podcast that we were doing, I mentioned wanting to go to Argentina to study tango there.
Right.
And it just got me thinking about like dance and stuff.
Mhm.
So when I was a kid and there was no dance in my school, I had like stereotypically gay tastes in like dancey musical type things, just not like exclusively, but like I watched a lot of old movies on TV, and
Mhm.
there was like a higher ratio of like people singing and dancing in those than you find in everyday movies.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So like as a kid, I was like, oh, at some point, like there's going to be like a big musical number that just breaks out, like in Greece or whatever. And I'm just
Mhm.
going to know what to do, even though I've never physically done any of those movements.
And everyone around you is going to be doing the exact same thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
we'll
ahead.
all know what to
Mhm.
do.
Yes, honestly.
Unpracticed,
Hmm.
unrehearsed. It's
That's what happens.
so
But you have to take dance class first.
right.
Hmm.
So like in my heart, I thought like I will know how to dance and like I'll be super good automatically at like swing dance. Like as a little kid, like this is years before there was a swing revival or anything. I was
Right.
like, swing dancing is so cool. And someday I will be doing those like acrobatic moves. Fast forward many, many years, and I sign up for a swing dance class in New York.
Uh-huh.
And it's just a room full of other people who've like never done it before or barely done it before. And I am abysmal. I like,
Oh, Josh.
I thought because I would go out and dance for fun, just like with friends to music,
Hmm.
that like learning how to dance would just like it would be natural. Like I like this thing, I think that music is fun, and like it's just gonna like fall into place. That very much did not happen. um but like however, okay, so I had this, so my swing dance teacher was like a, I don't know how to describe him other than he was older and he dressed like a raver. So like picture like a 50, 60 something year old guy, but with incredibly baggy pants, which I guess is just a dance thing. But like to my way of thinking, he was like,
Well, I mean, at that time, those had to been, if not Jenkos, like knockoff Jenkos. Like he was living the life.
I mean, it was so much after Jenko's had like come and gone.
Oh.
So like this guy like had his own thing. Anyway, he wasn't like encouraging. He was like, wow, you're really like
You
floundering for your
suck.
life. And like he could see the panic in my eyes that I was just like survival moving my like the best that I could do. So that was not the encouragement that I needed. I missed 1 week with him and I did a makeup with a different guy who was like, even though I was already like, I suck at this and I know I suck at this,
Hmm.
I responded differently to that dude. Like he just had a better handle on things. Like
And he wasn't a dick.
he wasn't a dick.
Hmm.
He wasn't a hateful individual. Uh, so I was like, oh fuck, maybe it's like possible. My like month-long class like is over. A year or two passes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna see if that teacher that I liked is still at that one place, and I'm gonna sign up. And then I checked it out, and it was like for a little bit more. So you could sign up for like a month of swing dance classes or waltz or tango or foxtrot or salsa, or for like a tiny bit more, you could do unlimited classes in as many of those as you could stand to do. And I was
Hmm.
like, fuck it. I'm going to try a bunch of these things, but like I know, because I was still hanging on to this idea that like I was born to be a swing dancer.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this place was amazing. Every dance teacher was like straight out of central casting. Like the salsa guy was like, okay, so now you're like, it's like you're rubbing yourself but not really, and then like you're coming out and then you're going in and it's like, oh, I'm coming to get you, but not really. And there was like a Russian, like Baryshnikov type dude that was teaching tango. And I was like, holy shit, I love tango. I took all these classes in all these different forms, and just like tango was so surprisingly fun. I was like, this is the last one I would have figured that I would like. But then there it was. So
Is it more complicated than the other ones? Because it looks like it's more complicated.
no, okay, so I think so. Okay, you have a background in dance. Well, I mean, as a kid, like, here's the thing that I didn't know until immersing myself into it. And also,
Oh, and tap. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, you did a lot of like real dance stuff. And like I remember watching like, you know, old, super old movies where like tap dancers would tap dance when I was a little kid. And I was like, is that a thing that I can just start doing? Like, how does that, what's the deal with that? Um, so there's a process. If you've never done this before, it's true with dance, and it's true certainly with martial arts or boxing or like anything where you have to take instruction, translate that instruction into physical movement, drill that movement so that you're not thinking about it and it comes out of you in a natural way.
So
Like
it's like muscle memory.
right, but it's also like, you know, the difference between like, okay, I know these dance moves are like step left, step right, step forward, step back. The difference between knowing that and your body just moves and you feel really cool and you're having fun because the music's playing and you're not thinking about it,
Yeah.
or the same thing because you're like throwing someone in martial arts across the room and you didn't have to think about it, you just did it.
Right.
Like that process is like,
You want to know my secret with that one?
talk to me.
I mean, I haven't done like a choreographed anything since I was a wee one, but I never ever learned the names of any of the moves ever. I would just memorize what we were supposed to do. And so when she would say, do a kickball change or whatever, I'd be like, show me what that is, because I have absolutely no idea. This is like my 8th year here. That's it. I just memorized what we were supposed to do.
Yeah,
and I
so,
think it made it more natural too. So there.
well, that's interesting because I also did not memorize the names of things, at least in martial arts, because my teacher would be like all over the place. He would just be like, all right, I'm going to teach you this. 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 But like, I had no idea what the names of any of these moves were. He did. He was just sort of like a really free form guy who was like, oh my God, we're going to do some like really fun stuff today. But like, if I had known words to like apply to those, I feel like I would have been better off, because like, you know, learning dance moves, I knew a few names for dance moves and
Right.
that worked out okay, because if it was like do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, it's like, okay, first of all, I need the words to know what they mean. Like, you know.
Yeah. I think I do that with most of my life, where I'm just like, I'm not going to pay attention to what you're saying. Just tell me, or just show me rather. I don't understand words. Just show me.
Well, I'm definitely like a tactile learner. Like, yeah. You could explain something to me, but until I get my hands dirty doing the thing,
oh, for sure.
I'm not fully getting what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely.
I can never take directions like to go, you know, like, can you help me get to like Carnegie's, you know, whatever. uh like if someone says like go left, go right, go left, go right,
Nope.
I don't know anything you just said. Like
Nope.
I needed Google Maps decades before it existed.
100%. Well, everybody, we've been dancing tonight. We will see. Josh, we're here to talk about a show.
Oh, fuck my shit. Why is anyone still listening to us?
They're not.
All right. So a fun edit point. Clap, 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 clap. Woo! We're on fire tonight with Josh and Tressa. This is Our Flag Means Death, season 1, episode 2. We're going to spoil everything, so you've been warned.
Yep. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. So.
Tressa, what did you think?
I loved it. I'm going to love all of them. So you don't even need to ask. What did you think, Josh?
I was totally into it. So fun.
So fun.
It's such a silly vibe and such a like it's loose and casual.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy that about it.
Just that opening sequence I love so much. Where they're on a French boat and they're being very French and they can't wait to show everyone real French bread.
Right. Like how the fuck would you have baked bread out at sea?
They're French, Josh. What?
They're French. They can't do it any other way. They absolutely like there was no other option. Baguette or die.
Thank you. He's wearing a beret and a striped shirt.
Yeah, I mean, basically every single French crewman is dressed like Marcel Marceau. Like straight from the Mime Academy.
Because he's French.
Right. So that like the French ship has a run-in. They see a flag, the very recognizable flag of Blackbeard, and we realize that it's Black Pete telling a story directly from his own life.
And everyone on his crew could not hate it more, except for Steed. He can't get enough of it.
Steed's hanging on every word. This is like everything he's ever dreamt of. Yes. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew are like, this is fucking horse shit. Black Pete never served with Blackbeard ever. I refuse to believe it. Blackbeard's description is like
beautiful.
So wait a second, you're saying his face is smoke? Yeah, I mean when he needs it to be. And his eyes just glow. Are they, like how big
are they floating too?
Like because the head is smoke. I never said that they float.
They're regular eye size. What?
They're the regular size of eyes.
And then I believe it's Alawande says, "Hey, who's steering the boat?"
Cut to they are they've run aground on an island.
Yes.
They've got they've only just arrived and Buttons is like, we're gonna have to start eating people. No two ways about it. And Steed's like, no, we're not. We just got here. He's like, right. Yeah. So not until it's absolutely necessary. He's like, no, it'll never, it won't be necessary. He's like, right. Until absolutely necessary.
We have weeks worth of food. We have plenty of food.
Like he's already identified Lucius as succulent. Which fair enough. I mean, you know, like why not Lucius?
I mean, he is succulent. Right?
Although, wait, what's Hodor's character's name?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
It's Wee John?
That's what it is.
Okay, so, I mean, just pound for pound, he's gonna
Well,
he's
I
gonna.
wasn't talking about flavor. I just meant that he's succulent. Like, oh, I want to give him hugs.
I was talking about a cactus,
Oh,
different kind of succulent.
yeah. But that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's a thorny issue
Yes.
sometimes.
Ugh. Uh, Ghost Nigel's back to let Steve knows that he sucks.
Yeah. So Steve keeps seeing visions of the man he inadvertently accidentally killed when he conked him on the head and he landed face first on his own sword.
Such a brilliant death.
The visions are like, I probably have children, could be a bunch.
They'll never see me ever again. What was it? Oh yeah. And so they're like, what are we supposed to do? We can't get the boat in the water. Like, what? And Steve's like, go take a vacation. And they're like, what the fuck is a vacation?
Right. And like 10 minutes later, he looks over and sees Hodor just punching Nat Faxon in the balls.
What are you guys doing?
It's like, what you said, we're unwinding, we're on vacation. Like, that's not right. That's not how it works.
Oh boy, I love these guys. Oh, and then Roach is like, hey, so can I torture the hostages since I'm on vacation? He's like, no, just go have fun. He's like, yeah, exactly. when they're like, when Steve says, well, what would Blackbeard do to Pete about the hostages? And Pete's like, he would shove hot pokers up their assholes. And everyone on the crew's like, yeah, let's do that. So nice.
But also, Steed, who keeps seeing the ghost of Nigel, is like, so, like, how would Blackbeard deal with having killed someone? He's like, oh, he just moved right on.
Right.
And like when he asks Alawande and Silent Jim like makes some hand signs and he's like, I don't know what that means. And Alawande is like, I think what Jim is trying to say is that once you kill a person, you're changed forever.
You remember that? I just watched it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I also just watched it.
I just had to mute my mic for a second because my dog is gagging again. And in doing so, I had to like move my thing. And I'm gonna tangent for a second here.
Yeah.
She's still coughing. It in the background is a letter I had to write because two separate t-shirt companies have ripped off my image for my other podcast and has been trying to sell them. And they will not take them down unless I make this formal complaint with all this proof that it's my image. And what the fuck, you guys? No one's going to buy those shirts. Why are you stealing my image?
That sucks. I hate that. I hate that you have to do that. I hate that people think that whatever exists in the world is up for grabs for them to like take and make money off of themselves, even though it's not theirs. That's a bummer.
You know what? It only sucks because I have to do extra work about it. Like, they're not going to make any money off it. I don't know what the fuck. Like, I don't want to do stuff. Don't make me write things. What?
Right. And it's not like, Sophie, here's the thing. They're not going to make any money off of it. It just costs you time and headache, and they may or may not even read your letters.
Right. Well,
and like, imagine that they made $1 billion off of something that you did. Like, you would still be getting zero out of them either way.
I mean, it's such a problem for both of those sites that they have a separate menu in their menu, or a separate subject line for claiming that your image was stolen by somebody and they're using it. Like, I'm sure it's just bots, but what, you guys, Come on. Come on, you guys.
Wait, are you saying that the response team is bots, or that the people stealing your image is bots, or both?
Maybe both, but I was talking about the people stealing my image. Like, there's no way someone's looking at that and being like, "Oh, this is the most popular podcast in North America. I'm going to steal this image." They're just like bots, I'm sure. They see that I'm selling it somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, well, must sell somewhere."
Right. If it's for sale, then it's up for grabs.
Anyway, I just that's what I was going to tell you earlier, and I forgot to, because I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, so we were talking about this show is so good, and the hostages have escaped.
Yeah. So Steve didn't make it clear that you don't let the hostages go have a private pee in the woods.
They're not on vacation.
They're not on vacation themselves. They're still hostages.
Yeah.
Um,
So Alawande and Steed and Pete go find them, or they go look for them.
right. And they are immediately captured by local inhabitants of this island. They're put into a tiny cage. Like, it's just Steed and Pete in the cage.
Mhm.
And they're like, oh, hey, we're also looking for our hostages. Like, they kind of they smell like urine, look a little bit like us. And the guy guarding them gestures, and they see like charred remains on a spit, and they're like, oh my God, disgusting. How could you? And he's like, no. And then he
No.
gestures like again in the same direction. And we see the two guys in a very similar cage giving them the finger.
One of them's giving a finger. The other one's just waving and saying hello.
Right. And the guard is like, fucking racist. That's bullshit. Not cannibals.
Well, we didn't think that you would actually do that. I would.
So then Alawande wanders in holding a drink and a coconut. And he's totally chill with everyone in this village. Like,
having the best time.
yeah. It's like, oh, it's this great like rum drink. I don't even know what's in here, but it's good.
You guys want to try it?
So
No.
they said that they're gonna put you on trial because like they keep having problems with like pale looking fellows killing
Light
them.
Light skins.
You know, the light skins. And Steve's like, oh right, the light skins.
Yeah.
He's like, anyway, there's gonna be a trial, but I'm sure it's more of a formality. And the guard's like, no. Oh, so I guess it's not a formality.
Then we see the rest of the gang on the beach just having a grand time. I think it's Buttons is he's whittling a stick
to become a harpsichord. It's
really?
a tiny stick. Tiny.
Uh-huh.
And he's sitting with Lucius, who's got like his shirt like off one shoulder. He looks very 80s, he looks like a cast member of Fame.
Yes. Or never mind.
Or Flashdance.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Flashdance look.
Yeah.
It's the stretched out shirt that hangs off one shoulder.
Or I could also see him doing some like 80s Euro pop at the same time, some like Tears for Fears thing going on.
Right.
And we get introduced to Izzy.
Oh wait, wait, quick timeout.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Tears for Fears pre-Tears for Fears group?
I don't think that I have.
I think they're called Graduate or Collegiate. I think it's Graduate. They're on Top of the Pops. They're like a ska band.
Of course they are.
And they sing, at least one of the songs that they do on Top of the Pops is Elvis Should Play Ska. Yeah.
Were there
like,
horns?
Like what I'm seeing and hearing don't make sense, because like that guy clearly has the Tears for Fears guy's face, but like this sound is coming out of it.
They're so joyful and full of horns.
Yeah, it's really, I'm not sure if there's horns or not, but maybe.
That exists?
Horns exist.
I mean, ska without horns?
Maybe. I think so. Well, I can't say for sure. I'm not like a super expert. I think Okay, so here's what I know about ska. Ska predates reggae. Um,
Is that
it's
true?
yeah. So in Jamaica,
Hmm.
they had calypso and they had gospel, and they heard brand new rock and roll, and they were like doing their best to make rock and roll with the tools that they already had, which were calypso and gospel.
Yeah.
And what came out of that was ska. And they played ska and it was popular for like a year or two. But then Jamaica got hit by a super hot summer. And it's literally like people were like too hot to like dance and jump. And so they played it slow. And that's where reggae comes from.
You are blowing my mind.
Yeah. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I just assumed I just assumed that ska came out of English white boys' basements when they heard reggae.
Uh, I mean, like, I think that like there's like a big migration to England.
Well, they get to go on vacation all the time, so they probably went to Jamaica and then stole it.
Well, no, I think that like a lot of Jamaicans and like other Caribbeans like moved to England and brought their cool new sounds with them. And British people who, you know, I mean, take a look at them. Like
Yeah,
they need an
colonized
infusion of some
everything.
lifeblood.
They needed some culture, so they stole it again.
Uh, yeah, so it became wildly popular there. Um,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
And so where are we? Did we already
Oh,
meet Izzy Fang and Ivan?
okay. So no, not yet. So here we are. Those guys are some real badass looking dudes. Kind of badass. Kind of like somewhere like who's the leader of that trio?
Izzy.
Izzy
Izzy Hands.
Izzy Hands is a legitimately intimidating character.
Hmm.
But his friends kind of look like they raided the costume
Hot
department.
Topic.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so I've got like some Beetlejuice clothes.
Fang's got a spiked belt as a headband.
So I mean, you know,
Uh,
they're fun. They're fun. Like
so fun.
they dressed for fun. That's what pirates are mostly known for.
Dressing for fun. Duh,
Just dressing for
obviously.
fun.
Yes. We go to Jim writing in their journal about how they've got a price on their head. So we learn that they're on the
Right.
ship because they've got a price on their head and they're trying to escape.
Right. I realize that you are being gender non-specific, which is a very
Mhm.
cool thing to do in general, but I feel like it might be a little bit confusing in this instance where we have a woman masquerading as a man because she is wanted. And
That's fair.
so calling her a them
Mhm.
might add a layer we don't need.
That's fair. I did it because I know later in the series, the audio description makes her gender neutral.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, I'm not trying to misgender her.
No. You're right. It is confusing because I just went with it anyway.
Well, no, I think,
To forward the story, no, you're right, because it is the 1700s and she was AFAB. They were AFAB and they are disguising as a man and they are not a man. Anyway.
so they,
Mhm.
do we know that character's real name yet? We just know them as Jim.
I think we only know them as Jim the entire
Okay.
series.
Okay. So Jim, who's suffering under a wax nose and false beard and just sweating their proverbial balls off.
Correct.
finds a secluded part of the beach, takes off the disguise, and goes skinny dipping, but is seen by Lucius.
I love Lucius so much.
Jim tackles Lucius and he's like, "Are you going to kill me?" They are like, "Absolutely."
I'm great at keeping secrets. My mom thought I liked girls for all my life.
Sometimes a beard doesn't have to be a beard, if you know what I mean.
I don't.
Anyway, Lucius gets away.
We go back to the village and they're on trial now.
It's like, okay, so so like the judge and chief,
Mm-hmm.
I love that actor. That guy's on Reservation Dogs
Yeah.
now, and he's in a lot of movies. He was in Dead Man, that Jim Jarmusch movie,
Oh, right.
and anyway, fuck, I wish I knew his name. It doesn't matter. That guy
No.
rules.
He has a very, I can't remember his name, but every time I see him, I think of Skipper.
Skipper.
You know? Yeah. From
From
Gilligan's Island.
From Gilligan's Island. Yeah, he looks a lot like
a
he looks a
lot.
lot like that guy. What was Nathan
Oops.
Hale?
No, that wasn't Nathan
It
Hale.
was Nathan Hale.
I feel like maybe it is. Wait on it. Gilligan's Island. Alan Hale Jr.
Alan Hale Jr.
Alan Hale, whatever.
Okay.
All right. That's
Yeah.
settled.
Yeah. Okay.
See you later.
Bye. Yeah, so that guy's awesome. He's like, okay, so we, the first time the light skins like wiped us out, shame on them. The 8th time, shame on us.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's fair.
And Steed's like, but we're not like that. Like, not at all.
We're pirates. They're the colonizers.
He's like, all right, so have any of you killed anyone recently? And he's like, oh, woe is me. And so they take a recess and Alawande explains how it was sort of an accident.
Right.
And Black Pete is like, called it. He's like, I don't remember you calling it. He's like, I did in my mind. It's like, well, then that's not calling it at all, unless you call it. And Steed is talking to this elder guy who's like, all right, so the guy that you killed, like, do you feel bad about it? No, he sucked even as a kid. Well, maybe this guilt you're feeling is about something else. And then he has a flashback to saying goodbye to his children as they sleep, and then stealing their toy schooner before he leaves.
They didn't need it.
Of course he does. He wants to live a life of adventure.
I mean the children. They didn't.
Yes. Oh, so I'm sorry. You're talking about plural they, not singular they.
Yes. Sorry. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they're like, okay. The natives are like, that's fine. We get it. You guys are harmless and bad at your jobs. It's fine.
You're an idiot. You're not a threat in any way.
So they let him go and they're like, cool. Where's our hostages? And
like, we sold those guys.
I love that they sold them so much. So they're like, well, we got to get him back. And they start spying on Izzy and Fang and Ivan, and they come up with a plan. Eventually, they're going to distract them, and it actually works somehow.
So how often in life do you declare, okay, here's the plan, but like, as you say those words that you don't have a plan, and you're just hoping that inspiration will strike the moment you start speaking?
Yeah, all the time. I usually assume that I will know what the plan is before I stop saying I've got a plan. And then it's not there, and I am very frustrated.
every day of my life.
Mhm, mhm,
Every single day of my
mhm,
life.
mhm. So are we assholes or is that common?
No, I think everybody does that. I mean, maybe not everyone, but like pretty, I think it's pretty common.
Okay, okay, okay. So they decide that whatever, they actually pull it off, which I love that for them. They did such
Right?
a good job. Izzy tore up his Steve's shirt with his sword. It was shredded. And they still were like, okay, well, we've got you surrounded. All my guys are right beyond these trees.
On my word, unleash hell.
He was so excited. I was so happy for him. He got to be a pirate. So they get their hostages back.
Through connivery.
Yes, trickery. And they go back to the beach and they're actually getting the boat back into the water somehow.
Right. Good move.
And the elder's still counseling Steve. He's like, maybe pirating isn't for you. Maybe you like something a little more gentle. Maybe.
I think he actually says more like general things, which is a great way of saying like, like just try your luck with basically anything but this.
I love that, but no, he said gentle because he even references it in like a minute
Oh, he
later.
does say like,
Yeah.
you're more of a gentleman than a pirate.
Mhm.
Okay, so I misheard him.
But I do like the general a lot.
I prefer it that way still. And then he stops Alawande and is like, you're welcome to stay with us. That man is definitely going to get you killed.
Yeah, no.
He's like, thanks, but I have someone on the ship.
Mm.
Like, oh, you're in love. It's like,
No,
it's
shut
a
up.
friend, just a friend.
You don't know. They live in Canada. It's fine. And then and then Steve's like, well, why can't I be a gentleman and a pirate? Hey, I'm a gentleman pirate.
That's got a ring to it.
I love it. And then we see Ivan and Fang and Izzy on a different boat looking at Steed's boat. And we find out it's Blackbeard's boat and they're going to follow them.
Because it has that very recognizable flag from Pete's description earlier.
Yes. Very exciting. Where will this take us?
Dun, dun, dun.
So that was the episode.
That was the episode in a nutshell. It's just like a really fun watch, like I just love how sort of unrushed everyone is.
Oh yeah.
As they they're just sort of settled in, chilling.
They're on the funnest cruise ever.
A bit.
Mm-hmm. They don't even have to do their jobs. It's fine.
One of my favorite things in the episode that we didn't discuss is when Jim is writing in their journal. They flick a knife at a cockroach, killing it. Like like that's how deadly this person is with a dagger.
Jim is good with knives.
Yeah.
Very,
although
very
Lucius
good.
got away, and Lucius is like no one should be worried about Lucius.
I think that maybe she doesn't really want to kill him. She just wants to let him know that she could. I mean, I hadn't thought about it, but that's what I'm saying right now.
Maybe. Also, is Lucius being gay a secret from the pirate crew? Because it seems like
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. I think that's probably why he is a pirate, so he doesn't have to hide it. He can be himself. Okay. Because pirates are with men all the time. Because women are bad luck.
Right. Except in real life, there's some notable pirate queens. There's like
Mhm.
Anne Bonny.
Like that movie, Pirates of Treasure Island that everyone knows and loves.
That you and I watched. Well, it had the incomparable Lance Henriksen in it. So,
Yes, it did.
you
Yes.
know, like that guy could read the phone book and it would be
Mhm.
amazing.
Yes, I agree.
And
Mhm.
reading the phone book would be something that he couldn't do until his mid 30s because he was actually illiterate until his mid 30s.
Shut up.
Yeah. How
T-
incredible is that guy?
Telling all his secrets right here on Twitch and YouTube. That's rude.
Well, shit. Okay. So I read that on, I think, his Wikipedia page. So
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God, did you put it there?
I
That's
don't,
so rude, Josh. Rude.
I took it
Can't
as
believe you did
truth.
that.
I
Why
hope
would you tell
so.
everybody
So
that?
that's, that is allegedly the truth. I just think it's like, if it's true, then it's like a reason to admire the guy.
Mhm.
If it's not true, I apologize for like repeating a story that wasn't true.
I just can't believe you would tell everyone his secrets like that. So,
Guys, that's all the time we have for this particular episode. For some reason, if you enjoy this, tune in again.
or if you want to
We
see our
are
dance
Josh
recital,
and Tressa.
that's right.
We
I
love
love
to dance and we are on fire tonight.
so much so that we're like smoldering the next day in the morning. Woo! All right. What?
What do you think?
I wasn't gonna do it, but I had to do it. I gotta give them what they want.
Do you think that's what they want?
No, probably not.
All right, guys, thanks so much. It's been awesome.